Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. I am Tavares Jones, and to my right and to my left, we got two not unfamiliar faces, but two new faces, two surprise faces for you all. I know you were expecting a dreaded head with a black power shirt on or a woman power shirt on with a cup of colorful juice or something like that. But I got my two strong black men, my two amigos here. And we're here to do the American Cream Show this morning. And the American Cream Show, where we show you, teach you, lead you, guide you, and show you how to live your dream by using cream. And cream stands for credit, real estate, entrepreneurship, assets, and mindset. How y'all doing this morning?
Buenos dias, mi amigos.
A little Spanish there, huh?
Yeah, man.
Spanish.
Bonjour, monsieur. Mix it up. A little French there, you know?
That's pretty good.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes. You know, I wanted to recap and get some updates. Because last show, on the 9 o'clock show, 8 o'clock show, with Lynn and I, we were talking about short selling, you know? And just the in and out of it, and the non-traditional thinking that a lot of us don't think about, the concept of short selling. So I want to talk about that today. Also, let's recap an update. Antonio, since you are you're like the number one Medicare advisor in South Florida. I mean, you really, I'm so proud of you, man. I mean, this guy's like a beast in knowing Medicare and Medicaid like the back of his hand. The way I know this stuff about finance, this guy is, I mean, he is the best. When I say he's the best, this guy is good. So if you have a plan and you think you know what you know, I'm telling you, not until you talk to Antonio Woodbury. He's here in the Henderson Financial Group, and he's been with us for like 9 years now. You're going to have a birthday coming up too, right?
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
40 years old, man.
40, big 40.
40, leaving the 30s.
Yeah.
Man, you look 25, man.
Dude, that's right, man.
Drinking a lot of water and exercise.
That's what it is.
And rest.
And still riding them 100 miles,
we slowed
30
that.
miles,
We slowed
50
that
miles,
down.
riding the bike.
Yeah, we back riding and also jogging. Me
Yeah.
and my good man, T.
So I wanted to do an update, and I want to talk to T about this whole concept that we've been doing, making your child a millionaire, you know, because you've really been heavy on that. I want to talk to you about that whole concept. And then we'll go back and we recap. We'll talk about this whole short selling with game plan. I mean, game stock. What's the frenzy? What's going on? Is it legal, not illegal? And just the whole thought behind that. But Antonio, what's the skinny? Tell me what's really happening with this whole Medicare. Is it just dead? You got to wait until open enrollment?
No, not at all. So with right now we're in the middle of OEP.
What does that stand for?
OEP stands for open enrollment period.
Okay.
We just left out of AEP. AEP is annual enrollment. So annual enrollment is from December the 7th to October the 15th to December 7th.
Okay.
Then you have OEP. OEP is from January 1st to March 31st. So if you got in a plan in AEP and you say, well, you started the plan and it went to January 1st.
Right.
Now you go to the doctor and your doctor say, hey, man, you done picked the wrong plan.
Oh.
Now you got to do some backpedaling.
Okay.
You have to call somebody such as myself or a broker. You can't call the person who signs you up because they could be a captive agent. You follow me?
Right.
Right. So you go and you get someone like myself, like a broker, and we can help you get back in that plan or another plan that your doctor might accept.
So when you say the wrong plan, that's the wrong plan because somebody signed that person up, and when they got ready to go to the doctor said, I don't take that plan anymore.
Right. Or I don't take that plan, period, because you can say I'm in Humana. And then someone comes to you and say, well, how about you get into this particular company or this plan because it's going to help you towards your Part B, because Part B has increased to $145.50 per month for Part B.
Wow.
So some companies saying, hey, listen, if you come over here, we'll give you a little back, reduce your Part B. You follow me?
Oh, that's the new thing now?
Yeah, it's a little give and take, because if they're giving something, that means they're taking something. So if they're giving you something back towards your Part B, then that means that you might have to pay to go to a specialist.
Oh.
You follow me?
It's always a give and a take.
Yeah.
They just mix it all around.
Right.
Wow. Now, in order for what you're talking about, this Medicare, you have to be at least 65 years old?
65 years old, or you have to be disabled for more than 2 years.
Oh, so somebody who is 30 years old if they're disabled for more than 2 years, they can qualify for Medicare.
Correct.
And get all the benefits as if they were 65 years old.
Correct.
Is it hard to qualify after those 2 years?
No, not necessarily. But the government, they tend to not want us to get what we need. So you might have to fight, and then they might do a retroactive.
Our government tend to not give us what we need. I thought the government was our friend. We are the government, man. It's we the people, right?
Right. Well, it sounds like that, but not necessarily.
That's what they say. That's what they got it written in the book.
Right. Yeah, Jedi mind tricking us.
Yeah.
And I always say we are our own worst enemy. We have found the enemy, and the enemy is us, right?
This is true.
I mean, we could make it, or we break ourselves. I tell you. So Tony, now I know that in the office here, T, his name is Tavares, but we call him T for short. Right. T, we know that man, I've been putting you on these Make Your Child a Millionaire, and you've been just finding some good deals and on it, man. I mean, Would you think that a lot of people still don't know about how you make your child a millionaire and still keep control in case your child act up, you get that money?
I think a lot more people don't know about it because our phones will be ringing off the hook like crazy because everybody has children. You follow me?
Not everybody. Linda don't have none.
I don't have none either, but majority
two people right there.
Majority of the world, that's only 2 people though.
Yeah.
You know
well, we got 3 in the office and Charles.
Well, most people don't have kids, right? Y'all know what I'm saying.
All right.
And most people don't have kids, and most people have kids. And I feel like when you have children, our job or their job as parents is to, make it a little easy for your kid. You know what I'm saying? Like when you bring your kid in, you want to set them up so they have at least a little easier than you had it coming up. You know what I'm saying? And you can do that with just, a small $1,500 for the whole year, $2,000 for the whole year. Something. If you have a little more in your budget, if you can afford a little more, we have some clients that do. Dump that in there as well.
But you know what I like about it when you say for your kid? What I do like about it when you put $1,500 a year for your kid, or $2,000 or $10,000 for your kid, it appears like it's for your kid. But if your kid act up, it's yours. Correct?
Yes, it's like a savings account for yourself, but you just have the kid as the insured, right?
Right.
And I feel like, honestly and truthfully, Mr. Henderson, it kind of goes back to the education of life insurance, especially in the black community. And myself and Antonio, we just did a show last Wednesday on life insurance, like giving you a different way to look at it, right? Comparing the old versus the new. And if you haven't already, please go and check that out. It's really informative, and it'll give you a new way to look at life insurance. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just insuring your life, or
Death
it's not just passing your family a benefit when somebody dies. You get what I'm saying? You can really benefit off these policies that we, educate our clients on. We call them advanced strategy policies, right?
And I don't like death insurance.
Not at all.
Death insurance mean that the only way you're gonna benefit is if you dead.
Right. And also your mindset has to be changed as well, because everybody's mindset is not the same. Like you saying, it's for your child. Most people, when I was coming up, they would always say, you got to learn it just like I did. They going to give you the same. If you was getting they were getting their behind whooped, guess what? We going to beat your behind too. If I had to work, you have to work too. I got out at 16, you got to get out at 16. We're not, some families don't say, hey, listen, you stay here until you get yourself together. You can stay here till you're 25, 30, sometimes 40. But some people,
that depends on the kid too now.
Right. If they're productive.
If they're disciplined, if they're not just wrecking the house, if they're not coming home at 7 o'clock a.m., it depends on the kid.
Right. But sometimes you say to yourself, or hey, listen, who hasn't said, when I turn 18, I'm out of here? Everybody said that.
Well,
not you?
I didn't really want to get out.
Oh, you wanted to stay? How about you, T?
I didn't even want to grow up.
No.
I never wanted to grow up.
I didn't want to get out either, but it was time. I didn't want to get out, but I guess
to stay.
The circumstance. Yeah, if I can go back right now, I would love to go back. I would love to go back.
You want no bills? If we
oh
the
man,
bills, I didn't want to grow up.
But I get where you're coming from, though, Antonio. The mindset is really it's important. You know what I'm saying? And we have to create that shift. And a part of creating that shift is learning about insurance. You know what I'm saying? Because we talking about putting insurance on the kids, but a lot of parents don't even have life insurance. You follow me? And if you're a parent, if something happened to you, then what's gonna happen to the kids? You know what I'm saying? And you go to work every day to some of y'all work 2-3 jobs, and y'all say, I do this to feed my kids. I do this to feed my kids. What if you don't wake up today or tomorrow right? And you can't go to work to feed your kids.
Well,
Then what's gonna happen?
But a lot of times when they'll say, "Listen, I have insurance on my job." Now,
Yes,
unless
garbage.
you think that you're going to stay with that job and never retire, then that's okay.
Not really, because that's death insurance though.
Yeah, but I'm saying for the people that say I have some coverage. You say, do you have life insurance? Yeah, I got some on my job. I got 2 times my salary. But if you know that you're trying to eventually get away from that job, then that means that you're getting away from your protection, also your life insurance. Because once you leave the job, you don't have no more coverage. Not only are you not getting no more weekly paycheck or pay salary, but you're not even, you also don't have any coverage either. So it's good to get it early on yourself,
Right.
and it's really good to get it early on your child, because I know a person that didn't get life insurance coverage on their child, and now the child is 11 years old, and they just found out they have some sort of disease. You know, it's not really life-ending disease, but it's a disease that they're going to have to pay close attention to it for the rest of the child's life. Had that child had life insurance at 8 or 9, then they would have been locked in. And the kind of life insurance that you're talking about that I like that we do is not just death insurance, but every time you put money in there, it gets a higher interest.
Yes.
It get interest. Want to
Yes.
tell us about that?
Yeah, so what Mr. Henderson is talking about, right? So when you put cash into the policy, right, money should always be working for you. I'm going to go back before I go forward. Money should always be working. So if you got money in the bank, we call that dead money. Why is it dead money? Because it's not gaining any interest, right? Once you put that money in the bank, that money is working more for the bank than it's working for yourself, meaning that the bank is making more money off of your money than you're making off of it. So instead of dumping it into the bank, what you want to do is you can get a policy for yourself or for your kid, because they're both savings account inside of the policies. We're just using the kid as a mule, right? We're just using the kid for a quick, smooth approval. Most kids don't have any medication history or most kids, some kids do have, medical issues or whatnot. And we have a strategy for that as well. Give us a call, 305-825-1444. But going back to the savings and how it grows inside of the policy, what we want to do is we put cash over and above the cost of insurance, right? Because what that does is it puts the more money we put over the cost of insurance, the more money goes into the savings bucket inside of our policy. And we really like that because that savings bucket for an IUL, because we got 2 types, right? An IUL for the varsity policy, that savings bucket is attached to the stock market only for when the stock market does well. So that's like liking a girl or going with a girl only for when she's fine. Because sometimes women can gain weight, people can lose teeth.
They get older, gravity happens.
Right. So that's like getting with a girl only in her good years. You know what I'm saying? When she 19 through probably 29. For some women, fall off after that.
Well, you have some people. You have some people saying, like Antonio was saying. You have some people say, I'm not leaving my kids nothing. They got to work, and they have to fend for themselves, just like I did. And they need to be able to make it. I'm going to give them the tools now, but as they get out on their own, they got to make good choices. And I'm not just going to hand them nothing, Right. So you have a lot of people that feel like that, and there's some truth to that, because you don't really want to spoil a child, right? But in this case, this strategy what you're talking about is I like it because it's twofold. Even if you don't even like your kid, right? You could put a life insurance on the kid, and then when you put money, the kid is just the insured, which means the kid don't even have to take a blood or urine, don't have to do none of that. And indirectly, the life insurance appears to be for your kid in case the kid die, but you don't know that little joker ain't getting ready to die, right? So what you do is you put money and you turn it into like what we call a super Roth. You put money for yourself inside of that life insurance policy, and you're the owner of the policy, so therefore all the money belongs to you. Now that's a strategy. So a lot of people that said, I don't want to get no life insurance on them. No, just get it on them, because they can get through the gates. They can get approved quicker than you can. And once they get approved and the policy is on them, the money, whoever owns the policy controls the money.
So we have people out there, and I can feel like they asking questions, right? And someone is saying, So I can get $1 million on my child? Can they?
You can.
Yeah, you can.
You can. If you just got to put, the premium in.
You
know
can
what
get
I'm saying?
$1 million.
But on the child.
Yeah.
Right.
And
but,
how much does the parent have to have?
Well, the parent will have to have double the amount of insurance.
Right.
Right. But remember, when we get in these policies, we don't think about the death benefit. And the $1 million, that's more so focused on the death benefit. Because
Right.
remember, when the higher the face amount on that policy, or the larger that policy,
Right.
the higher it's going to cost.
The more cost
Right.
of insurance.
So we want to keep that cost low.
Right.
Because
You can pile money into it.
right, so every time we put money in, more of that money goes towards the saving bucket instead of going towards the life insurance company to pay for the policy. So we want the death benefit to be as low as possible.
Let's
You know
say
what
we
I'm
get a $500,000 policy.
Yeah.
And you can put in $10,000 a year. That's better than, oh my God, and that's tax-free money. That's better than a Roth because you can't even put $10,000 in a Roth.
Yeah.
So-
And then when you put it over and above, let me finish. When you put over and above the premium, that money grows minimum at 4.5%, and then it's tied into the S&P 500 or NASDAQ.
Oh, yeah.
If it goes higher,
Right.
man, you can get 12, 13, 14% on that money. And once that money gets that 12 or 13, 14%, it can never go down. It locks. It becomes the principal, even though you have the life insurance on little Johnny or little Sandra.
Right.
But you are the owner of the policy, so that's your money, and you can pull it out to do whatever you want to do. Go ahead.
That's great. That's great. You know what? With all of that going on about the money, that sounds fantastic. But what I really like about the plans is it has a long-term care inside of that as well.
Yeah.
Because when people get sick, a lot of people don't really have long-term care.
Yeah, but when you're talking about kids, they're not really thinking about long-term care at that moment.
Right.
You follow me? So even though it comes with that, we're not really focused on that. That's just part of the policy. It has that critical illness, have long-term, have heart attacks. A kid could have a heart attack, but all that death benefit is used for that. We're just talking about what I'm really bringing out when you have parents saying, man, if I struggle, my kid got to struggle. I ain't leaving my kid nothing.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
But so you could use insurance to better everybody's life. It's not like the old insurance. That's why I don't like just death insurance. Life insurance means death. I don't really like that. I like
Right.
my money to be working for me.
Right, right.
So Tonio, now, and even you do a lot of real estate also.
Right.
Now, I know that when clients call and I said, Tonio, I need to find a duplex or a fourplex. Is it becoming harder to find in terms of good values? Are they getting harder?
No, it's not. It's actually it's a good market to be buying.
It is. It's not real estate. You don't think real estate is really high right now?
Well, if the stock market is high, if the prices are high, does that mean we should stop buying?
It depends.
Because it could get higher.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
But you don't think it's going to be? But even a broken clock is right 2 times in 24 hours. You know that, right?
Right.
So I think that there's a possibility. We always have pullbacks, a correction, just like in the stock market. If the market corrects, meaning that it doesn't crash, but it comes down 10%. So the market, if we at 30,000, if it goes down 10%, that means the stock market has to drop at least 3,000 points.
Right.
That's not bad. We have those, at least 1 or 2 of those throughout the year, almost every year.
Right.
So real estate, we should have a correction too coming up, because I think
we've been waiting for a correction for the last 2 years.
2 years not a long time. I think it's going to come. Just like I say, the clock being right. I don't think real estate is going to never not come down. I think it's going to keep. I think it's going to come down. It's not going to just keep going up every year. I think it will fall back, especially with this pandemic. You don't think so?
No, not really. And if it's an investment property, you're still going to be able to make money because you're going to have tenants.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it goes down, you're still going to be making income.
Yeah, but I won't buy. Only time I would buy, especially here in South Florida, I think South Florida and a lot of the major cities, I think the real estate is sky high. I think that if you go to Missouri, Kentucky, some parts of Alabama, Georgia, even some parts of even North Florida, you can get better buys than in the major happening cities. Don't you agree?
Very true. Yes.
Yeah.
Even in the west atmosphere of Florida, they have great buys and purchases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to real estate, I think right now, people that really like real estate, because myself, I really like it, but I think right now that hustle isn't ripe. You know what I'm saying? I feel like hustles are like fruits, right? And that side hustle it's not ripe right now. And just because that fruit isn't ripe doesn't mean it's going to stay not ripe forever, right?
Right.
So I think it's good to, instead of focusing on real estate right now, I think it'd be good for people to focus on getting more income. You know what I'm saying? Developing more income so they can prepare for when that fruit does get ripe. And when that fruit is ripe, then you can jump in and you done accumulated all this money, and you can jump in and boom, make purchases. So, and we can help you get ripe in other areas. You know what I'm saying? Where when it comes to your your life insurance, where even an ETF that pays 11% on the year. That's something that can help you prepare for real estate when the real estate market is ripe to jump into. Your life insurance policy, that's something that can help you for when the real estate market is ripe to jump into, and several other things.
I just we was talking to a client last night, man. It was like 8:00 at night, and she was pulling money out of one of her rental properties because it has no mortgage on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the right thing. I mean, a lot of people feel like when your house is paid off or your investment property is paid off, that's a good thing. You stick your chest out. But that's old thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That's really old thinking. That's not how money really works, because when you have a house that's paid off, think about it. That house is getting no value. I mean, the equity doesn't grow. Houses are based on the appraised values, not based on how much equity you have. The money that's tied up in the walls, it don't get even a half. The banks pay you more in a savings account than when you have equity in your home. And you have equity in your home, especially $100,000, $200,000, your house paid off. That's really mismanagement of an asset, because that money is sitting in the ground, not earning not even a half of 1%.
Right.
People think that my house or my real estate property is paid off. Oh, I feel good. I feel secure. In fact, you're at a lot of risk then, because if the market does come down, it cuts into that equity. You follow me?
Right.
This lady said, Rob, what do you think about pulling equity out of my her duplex? So she pulled out $100,000. Now she's going to have a mortgage. But when we're going to take that $100,000, we're going to put it in one of the ETFs that we like, and it pays, the dividend is 11%. And that dividend, 11% on 100,000 is $11,000 just in the dividend annually. And what we do is they pay, instead of giving her $11,000 annually one time, they break it up and they pay that $11,000 monthly. In other words, they divide it monthly over 12 months. So she's getting over $900 a month. That right there is going to even pay for the mortgage. Plus that $100,000 that she put into ETF, it has opportunity to go to $110,000, just the growth of it. The dividends is going to continue to pay her. It's like getting a fruit tree that has a lot of fruits on it, and the tree is a young tree and it's still growing. The value is still growing and it's still giving income. So It's like income and growth. Right. That's fantastic. That's the way how you can use real estate, which I like a lot with the ETF that you just mentioned.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. And once she puts her funds in the ETF, it's available for her whenever she needs it. Let's say, when the real estate market is, when she's ready to buy another duplex, right? Those funds are available, and she could just, give us a call and say, hey, I need $50,000, or I need $20,000 for, a real estate purchase that I'm about to jump on. We can get her the money in a day or two. You know what I mean? And
it's tied right to your bank account. We link that dividend right to their bank account. And every month they receive that. They can pay a bill with it, whatever you want to do. You don't have to have 100,000. You can have 50,000. You can have 20,000. The point is, you're getting more than what you would get if you're just having that money sitting in the bank.
So she can have her cake and eat it too.
Yeah, And like I said, there's no penalty if she wants to get it out. You can put $50,000 in today. Next month, after you get the dividend, take it out. It's just that flexible. There's no penalty. There's no lockup. I like that, Tonio. So what are you seeing in terms of on the first of all, I want that when you said that you don't have to be 65 years old to be a recipient and be able to sign up for Medicare.
Right.
Are you finding that a lot of people that are younger than 65 have Medicare?
Absolutely. I signed one up last week. A doctor gave me a call, and the young girl was born in 83.
So how old was that make her?
83, that's 37.
Wow.
37.
And she was really messed up, or just?
No, she's walking able just like us. She looks like us. You can't tell.
But she's labeled disabled?
Disabled, yeah. She just her Medicare kicked in on the 1st of this year. Well, this month.
Wow.
Right. And the young people, they love to exercise, and with these plans, they can go to any gym they want to.
Man.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't know about that.
Right. They don't know about it. A lot of young people.
And you know what else is happening since this new administration is? This Obamacare is really starting to kick in and pick up, man.
I remember they was bashing that a couple years
Oh,
ago.
no, man. It's getting ready to get good, man.
On both sides?
Yeah, man. That's getting ready to come back. That's, as a matter of fact, Florida is like the leading state with Obamacare. They getting ready to take that thing to the next level since this new administration. So y'all better really, keep your ears and eyes open. I think during this administration we're gonna pay more attention. They're gonna pay more attention to medical health care, because health care costs a lot of money. A lot of people are not even retiring because they're not 65 years old,
Right.
and when they leave their job, that health care costs a lot. That's what's keeping them there,
Yeah, it's tons. I had an uncle that just retired, and he's paying about $800-900 a month just for insurance.
Yeah.
And he has probably 3-4 more years to pay that.
Wow. $800 a month?
$800
Just
a
a
month.
single person?
A single person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is he sickly?
No.
So every month that he don't get sick, he's still $800.
He gotta
That's just
keep it.
in case he gets sick.
Right. And he's strong as ox.
And he's taking care of himself.
Yeah, no medication.
So wow. So really, but he has just in case. He spent $800 a month just in case he gets sick. He's not sickly.
Right.
No medication.
Wow. It was good to have insurance. Like we said on the show on Wednesday, it's good to have insurance on everything because you never know the unknown.
But seems like something should be wrong with that. If he's strong as an ox, he takes no medication, but just in case something happened, he has to pay $800 every month. You know how fast these months are going by?
Smoking.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
We're already out of January. This is February already.
See, something not right with that. You know what I mean? Did you all hear me talking about GameStop and AMC and the whole short selling on the earlier show?
Yeah, and I was watching a few YouTubes before I came in about that.
What do you think about it? You think it's illegal? You think something's wrong? Think something bad about it? You're hating that? What do you feel?
I think that all the billionaires and people that had money, they're upset because they got the short end of the stick. Some of the regular people, they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna, they stuck together. They stuck together.
Who's they?
The small people.
Okay.
The retail
the
traders?
regular people like us.
Yeah.
Okay.
They stuck together, and they drove the price up, and they lost billions and billions of dollars. And now they're talking
Keep
about
saying they.
I'm sorry.
You just they.
Yeah, they.
I'm a visual learner. You got them there. Who? That's why I keep saying who. Them. The
Hedge funds.
Yeah.
Hedge funds,
I'm a simple
billionaires.
guy, man. You
Right.
they and the.
It was a billionaires. They lost a lot of money in shorting of the stock. Yeah.
What do you think about it, T? You think it's a good thing? You think it's an awakening thing? You think it's a fearful thing? Linda says that I don't know what Linda was. Linda was saying something about this could as long as it's not fraud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't see the show this morning. I was downstairs working and stuff. However, I mean, this situation's been on the news all throughout the week. I don't think it's illegal at all. I salute those guys for, like Antonio said, unifying, coming together, and also educating themselves and paying attention to what's going on. So I definitely salute that. The same thing took place with Volkswagen in 2008. That and then the real estate market and stuff like that. So for them to capitalize on this, they had to be watching or educating to see exactly what's going on. So, I mean, anytime you empower yourself with knowledge, I feel like you're destined to come up, and it was their time. It's their season. I wouldn't recommend this to be a sound investment strategy. You know what I'm saying? It was just a quick roll of the dice, and they came up, and I salute them. Like I say, for sticking together, for doing their research, for empowering themselves, and I feel like the black community can learn a whole lot from that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna always go back to black people, because if we stick together, our money can be on the rise, just like the GameStop retail investors. You follow me? So I'm gonna always go back to that. It's super dope to see it come together like that, but it'll be even doper if we can come together as a people to unify, stick together, support each other. You know what I'm saying? And come up together as well.
And what was in the news is that they've been shorting this stock since 2019.
Yes.
So they've been paying close attention to it. And
the hedge funds.
Right.
Yeah.
So they was taking full advantage.
So let's talk about short, in case some of these people didn't watch the first show. So we've always been accustomed to the traditional way of thinking. You have to buy low and sell high, and you have to do it in that order. In other words, you have to buy it first before you sell it.
Right.
But, thinking outside the box means in order to have a transaction, there has to be a buy and there has to be a sell. We always thought you had to buy first and then sell later.
Right.
But no, you can actually sell now and then buy later. I want to say it again. You don't have to buy something before you sell it. You could sell it and then buy it later. Does that make sense? Yes.
Yes.
Now that seems like, oh my God, what are you talking about?
It's almost like reading backwards.
Yeah. Dyslexic, right?
Right. Like,
but you can actually, but when you think about however you do it, you still wind up with a transaction of a buy and a sale.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you have to buy first and sell. So you could sell something that's at a higher price. So let's say if you sold something that was at $50 and you want to buy 1,000 shares, that's $50,000. You might say, well, I don't really have 50,000, but I can actually sell it for 50,000 because it's $50 a share. I'm gonna buy 1,000 shares. I'm gonna short sell it because you know something, or you sell it at $50 and you sell 1,000 shares at $50,000, right?
Right.
Now, with you doing that, you get a lot of your buddies to do it, a lot of your friends to do it. A hedge fund, they control billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. So what they do, they'll go ahead and they will sell short a stock at $50, millions of shares. And if they keep selling, when you're selling something, that means the price doing what? Going down. So they done sold it at 50. So now, and this guy bought sold 1,000 shares at 50. He already sold it. So it's already sold. Now he got to buy back, right?
Yeah.
But now he gonna buy back when the stock gets to $10.
Right.
Now he's really got to part with money. So he got to take 10,000. He gonna buy the shares at $10 1,000 times. So now he invested $10,000.
Right.
What did he sell it for?
50,000.
So he keeps that $40,000 profit.
Oh, that's beautiful. But if it goes up.
Okay, so that's what short selling is.
Right.
Selling something before you buy it. Totally upside down than the traditional thinking that we're all accustomed to.
Correct.
Okay? That's what short selling is. So he sold it before he bought it. He had to part with no money. That's just like paper money. It's like,
Like a credit card.
A credit card. So he sold it at $50,000. When it went down to the value of $10,000, he actually parted with his money. He bought the shares at $10,000. He already, as soon as he bought it, that ends the transaction. It's a closed transaction because he's already sold it at 50, so at $40,000 profit, right? Now, this is what those guys did, the masses, the little people did with GameStop. And they also did it with AMC, and they did it with some more companies. This is what they did. When they found out that the hedge fund bullies guys were shorting stocks, they said, you know what, we're not going to take it no more. What we're going to do, we're going to start buying it. Instead of not a stock going down, they selling, we're going to do more buys than they can do more sales.
Ooh.
So anytime it's like tug of war.
Right.
You have the tug of war and the water in the middle, and you over there and the other people, and all of a sudden you, Tonio, big guys, you get on this side and you guys pull it the other way. So now instead of selling it, you get a whole lot of internet buyers, millions, 2, 3, 4 million, 20 million buyers going against the direction of shorting. It buying it now instead of 50, it's at 60. It's at 70. It's at 80. Yeah. Remember, the short sellers got to do what? At one time, they got to what? They got to buy it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
they want to buy it at 10, but now it's going against them. So now it's going to 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, 200, 300, 400.
Are you going to get out, or you going to sell?
That's right. So when the short sellers say, oh my God, it's not going to, instead of buying it at 10, at 1,000 shares at $10,
right,
I got to buy 1,000 shares at $400. It's 400,000. Oh my God, I'm losing money. Because once he buy it, that's called a short squeeze. You squeezing them, and they buy it. They don't have no chance for redemption because they bought it and they sold it. It's done. They lose money.
Wow. So that's almost like a giant and 50 midgets. Like, that's unity.
Yeah.
They stuck together.
That is.
Wow.
That is. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Now, that's not illegal. So when they're talking about they're going to have Congress a meeting on this, we're going to see what's going on. There was no fraud. It just was collective thinking and collective buying, all unified little people with a whole lot of the more volume. They took on the giants.
Yeah.
So like you said, like a million midgets with one giant.
Right.
They can do a lot of damage.
Absolutely. Like ants.
Like ants.
Yeah.
Just like ants.
Man,
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
That's what short selling is, and that's what happened to disrupt short selling. Short selling has been going on for a long time. You know, we've had stocks, and then all of a sudden an analyst come out or a hedge fund will come out and say he's shorting this stock, and we had to say we got to get out because we were up here and it started dropping. We got out because the short seller got onto our stock.
Yeah, man, it's truly incredible how how this new day works with the whole internet and just creating I guess groups of people that are on the same page. You know what I'm saying? And they can just
create a disruption.
Create a complete disruption, like tank the system. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because man, GameStop was a losing stock. It actually made sense to bet against it.
Correct.
And honestly, if you go on the traditional route, it made sense. It's been losing for 2 years.
Fundamentally,
people haven't been
books.
People haven't been going in the stores and buying games anymore. And they switched. My brother just got a PS5. My 10-year-old brother just got a PS5, and he told me that they don't buy the games like the physical games anymore. He said they just download them on the actual console.
Right.
So I'm like, wow. And GameStop is a brick and mortar store where you got to go in and physically buy stuff.
Right.
So it actually made sense, but like I said, when you got unity, well, like Antonio said, when you got unity, you can just make whatever happen.
Right.
You can make whatever happen.
Stick togetherness.
Yeah, so it's like the rabbit has the gun now, So that's what short selling is selling something before you buy it and selling it high and then buying it low and collecting difference in terms of the cash. And a lot of people never heard of that, I mean, I think that I think that's big. Now, do I think that it should end? No. I hope some of the gamers, I hope they come on the stocks that I own and start buying it. That's going to make it go up even higher. I want my stock at $30 a share. I want it to go to 300 in a week,
Man.
We'll be like, Now, only thing, we just got to get a list of what they're buying so we'll find out when that wave comes. It's like a wave of flies, a wave of bees, bees just so that's the whole thing. Now the site that a lot of they communicate on, that Wall Street beats, they really want to turn down the site or end the site. But I think that as long as people can communicate and get together, it's like that mob flashing. You know what I mean? How they was doing the flashing, how they mob.
Right.
And they come together and they'll be in Target or what do they call that? Flash or mob or some kind of thing where they just all show up on their phone. They say we're gonna be at this location. Everybody just show up.
There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do.
Right.
I forgot what they call it. Heisty would know, man. I tell you, y'all don't know. Y'all young.
I don't know.
When you get social media and we say we all gonna meet over at Target today at 3:00.
That's when they had that putting on the mask situation, and I think they was in the Target and no one wanted to put on the mask, but I can't remember what was that called.
I don't know what it is.
But it's just communication when they say
and unity.
Earlier on the show I said, imagine that if black people got together and say, listen, in every town, from Chicago to Miami to Detroit to Atlanta to every major city where there are a lot of black people, if we got together and said we're not going to harm each other, we're not going to shoot each other, we're not going to do any of that stuff. Matter of fact, we're not going to sell dope anymore. Can you imagine what that would do to the economic system in America?
That was actually what the Black Panther started as. That was like a movement, like the mindset where they were like, we're going to support each other, we're going to uplift each other, we're going to protect each other, we're going to feed each other, you know what I'm saying? And that, you got Black Wall Street, you got Rosewood, Florida, that, it happened before so many times, but then...
Well, what happens after that?
Disturbances.
Yeah.
Disturbances
so they dismantle it.
Disturbances come in, but I mean, yeah, man, it's incredible what unity can do.
It would
sticking
affect,
together. Yeah,
it would affect if black people just said, we're going to get together and we're not going to buy, or we're not going to do this. If we did that, man, oh my God! But then again, you know, you really don't have to have all 40 million black people doing it. It wasn't 40 million people that did this GameStop. I mean, you can just get 2 million people to do it. You'll be surprised what 1 million people, you know, like the Million Man March, 1 million people do get collectively have the same mindset, how it can change things. It really could, because it has something to do with money. It affects, anytime it affects your money, any time that it affects money, change will always take place.
That's true.
That's the number one changer. Money.
They love money.
Money. I'm telling you, man, money. You don't want, listen, money rules. It really, really does, you know?
I think that's the only reason why, or that's one of the reasons why they're trying to shut down the whole group, the Wall Street Bets group, and they're trying to make it fraud, and it's getting all this news publicity because big money is losing money. Right. If it was some poor people losing money, they really wouldn't care.
Oh,
you know
that won't even hit the news.
It won't make headlines. It won't be considered as fraud because poor people been losing money for a long time behind wealthy people. You're gonna grow really wealthy people. So yeah, it's.
Oh, Doretha Hall said, and Catrice said, flash mob. Yeah, I got these young people. They don't, you know, they too studious. Oh. Thank you, Doretha. Thank you, Catrice.
Ms. Hall.
Flash mob. Can you imagine doing flash mobs, you know? And who was this? Dr. Willis said, Tiffany, how you doing, Tiffany? Flash mob. She young, she knows. Yeah, I mean, that whole flash mob, it's just communication, really, you know? Right. But so that's what short selling is, being able to short sell something now and buy it back later. If you think that something is a product that's not going to go well, in other words, let's just say if a company sold beepers, we know beepers was going out the way because of, you know, it's going by the wayside. It's going to be, you know, extinct because the smartphones are coming in. So you can short and sell the beeper company because you know that they're going to make less money.
Right.
That's a good short because fundamentally you know that their practice and their business model is dead. It's not working. Right. But so short sellers are not really bad when they really tell the truth and they really pull the sheets off and expose companies who are really creating and manipulating the market. Right. So a short seller is good. The problem with short sellers are, you know, sometimes they get beyond themselves. And just because a stock, let's say like Apple or something, or even Facebook, a stock that is doing really well, or a stock that has some potential, they'll come out and they'll say, this stock is going too fast. It's going too fast too soon. And they can start shorting it, selling it, and they can do a whole lot of sale, which will make the stock go down. Then other people will sell in the momentum, and more people will start selling, and the stock will come back down. That has happened a lot. Right. So being a short seller or buying puts and calls, you can make a lot of money, but you lose a lot of money also. I just want to make that clear because a lot of people now want to play options. Options. I made my first $1 million years ago on options, but I can tell you, I never forget that one day I bought options on Microsoft. This was years ago. And I think right before the next day, the report card, the earnings was coming out, I knew that they were going to be good. I put $50,000 on Microsoft. Microsoft the next day reported, had fantastic earnings. Everything looked good, just like, and then after hours, man, that thing went up like $20. So I had, after hours, my $50,000 had turned into $150,000. So the next day, I'm thinking like, I'm going to make $150,000 off my $50,000, right? The president came out and made an announcement.
Before the market opened.
Before the market opened. You know what he said?
What?
I don't think we're going to be this good next quarter. I think that we're going to have some problems. We were good, but I don't think we can do it again. Oh, that's like playing bid whist or spades and saying, we're not going to make our books. You know what I mean? I mean, the stock dropped. I lost $40,000 that next day.
Oh, man, I know your stomach dropped.
Oh, my God. I felt like I wanted to just disappear, throw up.
Yeah.
My point is, you have to take the bitter with the sweet. Even this guy that did GameStop, and they post how much money they're making, they also post how much they just lost. So I don't want anybody to think that, making money is just easy. It's just easy. This stuff is rough. It's like life itself, like you being you, like you actually saying, okay, I want to be better.
Right.
Anytime you want to be better and be all you could be, it's not easy. It's tough because you got to talk to yourself, right?
A lot of self-talk.
A lot of self-talk. You got to do things when you just don't feel like doing it. You know, you got to go against the grain, especially if you're trying to lose weight. Oh my God. I wonder why it's so easy to gain weight. And it's fun. It tastes good. You know? And next thing you know, you're like, boo. And then your friends say, what happened to you? You know, it's so easy to doing the right thing. If you're really trying to accomplish something, when you want to lose weight, oh my God, it takes forever.
Yeah.
You looking every day because you ain't eat that cake, so you figure like you should have lost something.
Right.
But a whole week went by, you ain't lose nothing.
2 pounds. You spent hours and hours in the gym.
But that's an indication of the way life is.
It
you
is.
know,
Very
getting to the top of a mountain, man, it's tough. You get your buttocks. You got to get up there. You want to turn around.
Yeah.
But rolling down that mountain,
you gonna get down there
fast.
faster.
You get down faster
than
too.
you going up.
And it
Yeah.
feels so good going down.
Yeah.
Being down low.
But before you can go down, you got before you go down, you got to get up. You got to weather the storm first. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't even make it up that high.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before we can get to the top, you're like, man, you know what? That's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to my comfort zone where it's flat at. You know? I
Well,
don't-
it's sometimes when you get to, like you say, when you get to the middle point, you're like, man, is this shit? I mean, is this really worth it? Is it really worth it? And then you start slide down. It's like, no, I don't really want to be down there.
Right.
I don't want to be there. I've been there, and I know how it is, but I know how it is at that middle point, and I can imagine how it is at the top.
Yeah, because think about it. Think of a pyramid, the way a pyramid shape.
Right.
It's lonely at the top. You're at the top, but man, but at the bottom of the pyramid, oh my God, that's where it's the widest. That's because that's where most people are.
Right.
So, man, that's why I say anybody who is doing something good and being disciplined, we all should applaud them because it is not easy.
No.
You have to do self-talk. I'm telling you, man, don't ever be jealous and envious of another person who is really doing good. I'm telling you, you don't know they cry at night. They have to talk to themselves and say, oh my God, you have to push it, man. So please, let's all cheer people on that's trying to be something.
Right.
Because it's easy being nothing, right? Rolling down the hill, building a bum, getting food stamps or welfare or whatever. Okay, I shouldn't say food stamps.
No, that's not nice.
That's not nice. Because it's fashionable now for young people to get food stamps.
Fashionable.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, now, man, I tell you, I'm 62 years old. I guess I'm dating myself. Doretha Hall said, y'all too young to remember flash mobs, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all too young. You really are. So I know a lot of things that are happening now is untraditional, which I like it. That it says America in terms of thinking outside the box. I'm really excited about the future, what's going on, about the whole electronic, the technology. I think it's a fabulous time to be alive. I really do.
All right. So much change.
You're right.
Yeah.
If you alive and you paying attention, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to just be floating in life. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a plastic bag just blowing in the wind. You really want to observe. It's a good time to observe because it's a lot of changes going on. So that way you can take an advantage on these changes. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't want to just be the one that's getting taken advantage of.
Right.
You know? Or if you stuck in tradition, if things are changing and you stuck in tradition, how you going to advance, or how you going to level up, or how you going to come up from the changes? You know what I'm saying?
So you have to always sit back and pay attention. You have to pay attention.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
And one of the other things is, we don't really have conversations. Like they say these church groups to go to church and Bible study and all that. Think about this. One girl told me that they had 700 people in the Bible study. I'm like, what are y'all learning? Because if you had 700 people in a Bible study class, I say the whole city would be changed. Because that's like having 700 ants pulling something. You know what I mean? They can do it. So I said, y'all in class, I don't know what y'all studying. Y'all don't understand, But think about this. And I think that churches, I don't know, man. The reason why I'm not trying to pick on churches is because I'm thinking about a place where there's a collective audience all the time. That's why I like what we do here. Where people come in the same group and then we get new people, that we have somewhere to go and we have somewhere to talk about real issues, things that we can use to help our everyday life.
Right.
Like this good program that we have, And I started talking about churches. Where I thought about that is, think about this for a second. they teach us about Jesus Christ, which is a good thing in the story of God and Jesus Christ. But 500 years before Jesus Christ walked the earth, 500 years is a long time before Jesus. And on top of that, if you study, there's been at least 5 other Jesuses throughout before this Jesus. Did y'all know that?
I didn't know that.
There's 5 other
I didn't know that.
Jesuses.
I thought it was only one.
No, that's the only one you know about. The one that's 2,000 years ago.
That's the one they only talk about.
That's one. But they had other people, other prophets before this Jesus. Think about that. And 500 years before the story of Jesus, the word academy, they had the Greeks, the Africans, in Egypt. They were doing this stuff 500 years. They were talking about thought and thinking. It took 40 years to get a real education. This is 500 years before Jesus. You got Plato, Aristotle, Socrates. They were 500 years and having discussion on thought and beliefs before Jesus. Matter of fact, think about this. They discovered back in Africa humans walking the earth 1,000,000 years before Christ, Jesus. You know how long 1,000,000 years is? I don't think we think about the timeline and the significance of what I'm saying in terms of we only think that black people, slavery, we think that's our history, just slavery. And we think that, Jesus and church is all you need to know the story about Jesus 2,000 years ago. I say that cannot be the old saving answer, because there are churches in all the black neighborhood and you don't see prosperity in all neighborhoods. So there has got to be something more than just that teaching. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think knowledge of self, for one. I think that should be like first and foremost, because like you just said, a lot of times our teaching just stops at slavery when it comes to history.
That's when we start. That's
right.
what America teaches has told. If they lied, we know they lied about everything.
Right, and it doesn't really go back further than that. And when you know who you are as a person, you kind of feel better about yourself. You're not down. And when you feel better about yourself, you feel better about people that look like you. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like better about people that look like you, you kind of treat your community better. And it starts with that. You got to know it starts within. You know what I'm saying? And we don't do too much learning about like what you just said. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what part you didn't know?
A lot of that. Most I knew about the Socrates and the Greek greats and stuff like that. But most of that stuff that you just said, I didn't know that. And now I'm open minded to dig. I'm gonna do more digging after the show. This weekend. But I think it starts with knowledge of self, knowing who you are, where you come from, in your lineage.
Well, see, that's my point. Like you just said here that you didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many millions of people did not know that? Because we never have these kind of forums and these kind of conversations that would really, and it's lonely because when you're trying to accomplish a goal or you feel like you are going through a struggle, you think that you're alone, but it's millions of us have went down that same road. I just want you all to know that we're here at the Henderson Financial Group. We do total financial planning, but we do a lot of mental I would say mental examination, right? Where are you? Why do you feel like that? Why do you feel you can't achieve? And why do you feel that this is all you can do? We do a lot of that, a mental part of prosperity and financial planning. We really do. And I just think that, a lot of us have an emptiness in us because we know that there's a void, and inside our subconscious mind, something just not clicking, something just not right. You know what I mean? And we need to do what we call some introspection. That's a good word. Y'all look that word up. Introspection. Look that up. Go to Google or dictionary.com. What is introspection? What does that really mean? Mm-hmm. That means to look inside and do a self-examination and be honest to yourself,
Right. And then when you look inside, it's a lot of stuff in there that a lot of people don't want to touch. It's a lot. So that's why most people get caught up in the hustle and bustle. You saying, well, we need to look past slavery and look at the kings and queens that we really are. But you got to get through that alley.
Yeah.
And that alley dark.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to touch that. I was one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was one.
And we not here knocking, you all. We just here to enlighten, right? Because we know it's tough to take time out to, dig into history books and jump on the internet and just learn and dig into that introspection period, right? Because a lot of times we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle. It's hard to learn about history when you ain't got money to pay your rent. You get what I'm saying? You got to get out there and try to make something happen. So we get it. You know what I'm saying? But you want to find the time to do so. Like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of watching your TV show, we all have some area in our day or in our week for, stuff that we like, for our hobbies. We all have some type of, some period. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you got 3 jobs. My grandma had 3 jobs, and she found a way to, smoke cigarettes and hang out with her friends here and there. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we can, instead of, in that dead time, we can use that for those introspecting periods and, developing knowledge of ourselves. And that right there would just change our overall thought pattern, about how we think about us. And, that can change our future. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
you have to have the courage to say, I want more.
Yeah.
And I want better.
Yeah.
And be true. You got to be true to yourself, and identify your weaknesses and then go for it. Because, you got to come to a point where you say, you know what? This is my one life. I ain't playing no more. I played in high school, I faked it, but I ain't playing no more. And you never want to lie to yourself. You want to say, okay, I want to be more and I want to be greater. And then you can start by page. Yeah. And just because you don't know something, none of us knew nothing. I mean, we didn't know how to ride a bike, but we learned, we fell down, we got on. But that lets you know that because you don't know something, stop you, So it's already 9:16, so we're going over a little bit. Why don't we read and thank the people who joined us? Okay, y'all want to start from the bottom or the top?
We at the bottom now.
All right, you got Michelle Harris. Go ahead.
Hey, Michelle Harris, Tia Curry, Miss Hall, Mr. Rita Hall. We appreciate everybody stopping in. Islam, hey, Miss Gruber. We got Kathy Carter House. I think that's a new name. Appreciate you stopping in. And we encourage you guys to like and also share. We'll appreciate that. We got
It's Dr. Willer.
Dr. Willer. We got Natasha Jackson. Who else we got? Hey, Miss Redhead. She's always saying, every Saturday, Miss Redhead is watching all 3 shows. We appreciate you, Miss Redhead. We got Catrice Hunt. We got, who else we got? Damian Nelson. Hey, what's up, Mr. Nelson? Tia Curry. What's that? Marco. Impossible.
I like that, Marco.
We got who else we got? We got Heisey in there.
Heisey, yeah. Heisey.
Hey, what's up, Heisey?
Harvard School. Hey, that's my man, Jerome McMillan, the best black bookstore, I tell you, online that's in the country. Check him out. Hey, post that, Jerome, post your information.
Who else we got?
Nelson.
Diana George. Good morning.
Oh, we got a nice audience here, man.
June is always saying every Saturday. We appreciate you, June.
Okay. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, y'all.
Willie Morgan. That's a new name. I didn't see that name before.
Larry
Rivers.
Willie.
Pam Sylvain. Hey, Miss Sylvain. Brenda
Brown.
Iris Hamilton. Good morning, Miss Hamilton. Denise Ward.
Hey, listen, let me tell y'all something.
List. We appreciate y'all.
James T's coming up for part 2 of Understanding Money, part 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's starting at 10:30 to 11:30.
Okay.
I promise you all, we got a special guest that almost everybody heard about.
Everybody. I heard about him when he was a kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody. This guy is dynamic. I'm going to tell you something. Now, you want some motivation? This guy is really, really good. I'm not going to tell y'all who it is. I want y'all to sign back on at 10:30, okay? And James T and I are going to be talking. We're going to recap, and then we're going to talk to this gentleman. I tell y'all, it's a fantastic day today, isn't it?
Fantastic. Beautiful day. And you guys don't forget to share. Share.
You got to share. If you learn something or you like the conversation, share it with your loved ones. Right. Especially the part about black folks. We start treating each other and loving each other. We will disrupt everything.
What?
Think about it. What? If we stop hurting each other and killing each other, man. What? Man, the jails, the police department, oh my God, the courts. You talking about money?
What?
Oh my goodness. They'll say, hold on. We gotta make them black people hate each other,
Yeah.
Oh man.
We gotta start planting something.
We gotta start planting something, boy. Let me tell you something.
This is all by design.
That's a powerful move if we get it together, man.
How
Boy, I tell you. Man, and
How we live now is all by design.
all by design.
You got to undo it. You know what I'm saying?
Undo it. We have the power. We got to do like they did that GameStop, right?
Yeah.
We can do that. All right. Love y'all. Have a fantastic weekend. And make sure that you wear your mask. Love you.